How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be chatting about our Mazda BT50. It is 1 year old, so we're going to be going over the things that we like about it after 1 year, things that we don't like about it after a year, what we've done to it in that 12 months, and where we've taken it. So stay tuned, but make sure to subscribe. Hit that button right now. Like I said, we've had this car now for 12 months and all in all, it's been great. It was such an upgrade from our last car. We really are glad that we committed to this car. It's been such a reliable machine. Obviously, you would expect that after 1 year, but from what we had, which was a bit older to this, it's just been a massive upgrade. Now, there isn't many flaws. I want to preface that. There isn't many things that we hate about this car or we dislike about this car. Minor things we would change and minor things that we probably, hindsight is good, but really it's been awesome. So we had traveled probably back from Brisbane to Perth. That's the main driving we did. And then since then we've done trips from Perth down the south coast and that. We've done quite a bit of corrugation and different stuff, some beach driving and that kind of thing. So we've really tested it out. So we'll have a look at the effects of 12 months of doing that kind of stuff as well. Let's start by looking at the front of the car. So when we first got the car, one of the first things we did, because of like the outback driving and stuff we do and just long roads and road trips and sometimes night driving, that kind of stuff, we thought a bull bar is a must. Now it's very dirty at the moment. We've recently been away and there is bugs all over it. We thought it's just a bit of insurance. It also looks good. We went through ARB and got this bull bar put on. So this is the first thing we did. It's holding up well. It looks really good. We look underneath. The other thing we did was got a bash plate. So we have noticed a bit of surface rust on the bash plate and a few of the components on the bull bar, just the little edgings. So that's probably something we've got to keep an eye on. We actually haven't done any, we definitely haven't been in any salt water, and anytime we go on the beach, we're quick to wash it down, but it's just one of those things that I think it's quite easy to get that little bit of surface rust. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on it because you just should. So that was what we did first. We put on our Narva Spotties. We had them from the old car. Again, just driving at night, they're so good. They're absolute game changer. We chucked on a two-way from Oricom, which is also really handy. These are like the necessities that we're like always going to add. So from stock, those are the things we've put on. Now looking in here, it actually looks very normal. Little bit of dust, but pretty brand new otherwise. The only things that we've really touched in here is the dual battery that goes to the canopy when it's on the car. That goes to the canopy, and there's a few extra wires here just for the spotties and the light bar, but really that's it. That's pretty much all we've done on the front end of the car. I really wanted to keep it simple in terms of making sure that this part of the car stayed nice and neat. I didn't want to get any bird's nest with wires or anything. So two spotties on the front and a light bar on the roof rack is pretty much the extent of our things. And obviously the bash plate, like I said. Now, after 12 months, obviously you're gonna see lots of dust. The headlights are still holding up well. They're dirty, but they're definitely not foggy or anything. Same with the ARB stuff. So that's a big plus. The paintwork has been fine. I think having this darker paint definitely helps you really not see too much, though maybe it does show up stuff as well. Anyway, we have, I think I saw like a dent somewhere. Scratches are the biggest thing. So it's so unavoidable to avoid branches and stuff, especially when you're going off-road, beach tracks and that kind of stuff. So it's quite hard to see. Actually, I think they're around the other side more so. We'll have a look. So you can see, I don't know if the GoPro is going to pick it up, but you can see that big long one there. There's another one there. What else? Not much else. A lot of it's just dirt and dust. So obviously if you're not going to get any paint protection or any insurance in that regard, it's probably something you're going to have to expect. This is why we bought it. We bought it to go camping. We bought it to go on the tracks that we wouldn't be able to in a two-wheel drive. A few scratches here and there that we haven't even tried to buff yet, so we might even be able to get some of them out. So, but nothing crazy. There is a little dent somewhere, which I'm not sure how that happened. So that's the only ding I've got, but if I can't find it now, it's obviously not too big of a deal. So as we walk around the car, the other thing that we updated before we left is we put some all-terrain tires on there. So as you would know, these cars come with, you know, your standard road tires. We kept the alloys and put a road tire on, and it's honestly been really good for corrugations, off-road, sand. Just a standard all-terrain has been perfect for us. We really haven't needed anything bigger, but we did want to go that size bigger than the road tire, just purely because comfortable and more accessibility with this car. Let's have a look inside. So inside, again, we've tried to keep it really simple. So we haven't done too much. Straight away, I think one of our big things about this car was protecting it. So we've got our seat covers from Got You Covered seat covers, and they've been really good. They haven't faltered. They don't mark, they don't stain. We hop in here with like salty clothes, sand, everything, and that's been really good. On the dash, like I said, there's our two-way there. One of the problems I found with this car is that there wasn't a great spot to mount the two-way, so I've put it there. My knee kind of does hit that, and I've just stuck it with like double-sided tape to there because I didn't want to drill into our cab. That's one thing. The other thing is, because we have the canopy on, we run a mirror, which is also a screen, and so I haven't really been bothered to wire it up, hardwire it, because like if we don't have the canopy on, then there's no point. But it does mean that we have a wire hanging down here when we're kind of driving. So that's one thing that I don't love. The other thing is, and I don't know what the price difference in cars is, but the screen on this is quite small, so you can see, yeah, you can see like the outline of the small screen, which is a bit frustrating when like they've got a bevel, is it, or whatever that thing is, and it's so big, like it's so much black. That just means everything's a lot smaller, especially when you're looking at maps and stuff. So that thing's a little bit frustrating. With this model, everything's really simple, but it's one of those things where we don't actually mind. I think the more simple it is, just the less stuff you have to worry about. And we've found the rest of this, and even working with the Apple CarPlay and everything, been really flawless. Haven't had any problems. The only problems we've had is been with the iPhone. The iPhone, mine, not Megan's, has just disconnected randomly sometimes, and then it'll reconnect itself. So a bit frustrating, but not the car's problem. I've put in a little wireless charger there with a magnetic wireless charger, so I can just chuck my phone down there when I'm good to go. So no more of having it mounted up there, which I find way better. Everything the Apple CarPlay provides is more than adequate for me. Yeah, the cup holders is fine. Haven't had to use the diff locks yet. We've used four-wheel drive, obviously really simple. It's literally just a little dial where you change it from 4.2 to 4 high, and then you have it in neutral and you can go to 4 low. Pretty straightforward. Not much storage. There's like a tiny little thing here, and then you've got your little storage here and here. So we really haven't overloaded it with stuff, just because it could get quite messy quite easy. So storage probably is a bit of a downfall. Up here, it gets really dusty. I don't know if that's a pet peeve for people, but just the black. I don't know if it's worth having a mat up there. What else is annoying? Not too much, I think. From a driver's point of view, really comfortable. We rate the seats in here, the steering, things like the auto wipers, the auto lights, we don't even touch. We've never touched them. The one thing they do have, and it's a feature, is the auto headlight, auto high beam. So it flicks off when you are driving. Car is coming the other way, it'll flick off for you and then go back to high beam when there's no cars coming the other way. I don't know how smart that technology is. It'll be off all the time because of like the reflectors, or whether there's lights on the side of the road, or the signs reflecting from your high beams, or from just your general driving lights. So I actually turned that off. It wasn't working to how it's supposed to work, so I just do that manually. It's tough. The line control, the line, whatever alerts on the road, I think it beeps if you go over it. It's not a big deal. I don't mind it. I think I do like, which I only use on the freeway here. I don't use it on country roads or when I'm driving and changing speeds, but it's the radar cruise control. So if we're sitting on the freeway and it's 100 and I set that, and I set a certain distance between the next car and me, this car will keep that space. So that's really cool, but I find I only really feel comfortable using it on those kind of roads. Anything where there's corners or things can happens suddenly, I'm kind of back to manual mode. Having it automatic is amazing. The other little thing, it's only a little gripe for mine, but I've noticed that, so like these things don't light up, and this is probably just the model I've got, but at night, these things don't display. I think auto you can see, but you can't see any, so there's no like under lighting of those buttons, or even these. I'm pretty sure even this doesn't light up. And it is on there, obviously your gears, but that's just another little thing. Let's jump into the back. Oh, one other thing we added, just some really good floor mats. Just keeps all that clean. Even though we don't have carpet, it just all captures everything there. So in the back, it's pretty straightforward. We've got another floor mat there which runs the whole length. This is just our extra crap we have in here. I mean, we don't sit in here, obviously. The big annoying thing is, which why we've got these over that, is so as soon as you store stuff on these seats, it'll beep and beep and beep and beep and beep. And won't stop. So if you're storing stuff on these, you gotta have the seat belts, which is, I don't know, a bit annoying. I'm not sure if you can turn it off, but like if you've just got like even a book, I think we'll set it off. So the other thing is, yeah, it's only got one USB port at the front, and if you plug it in there, it'll override everything. So if someone wants to charge their phone, but you're using Apple CarPlay on your phone, it'll override Apple CarPlay and try and connect to their phone. Even though yours is connected wirelessly. So that's why I've had to put a USB plug in the cigarette lighter and run charging off that. We also usually have a cord in here, and we run it to the front. So there is options, but it's just a bit annoying. So yeah, really not much to report in the back. Small window, but more than enough to see. We haven't had any issues. Moving around here, so like I've said in other videos, we got a GVM upgrade through Fulcrum. We've got a Lovells GVM upgrade, and it's working great. It handles that canopy so well, so we highly recommend heading to Fulcrum. The other thing we did when we actually got to Adelaide was we upgraded our fuel tank to an ARB fuel tank, just simply because we needed that extra capacity. Carrying that fuel economy is quite poor, so we needed that extra distance, something we do not regret either. So yeah, really handy. I have found, now this is probably with the trays, but a little thing is that when you're using high flow, or sometimes even just normal flow diesel, it just clicks. Like it just clicks. Like it thinks that the fuel isn't going down fast enough. It thinks that the diesel is kind of, I don't know why, whether it's like this hose isn't like on enough of an angle. Anyway, so that is something to keep in mind. I have found that I do tend to stay away from the high flow ones now, but if you turn it so, and this might be something that people know anyway, but if you turn it like this, so like it's coming in from the side, it works perfectly. Saw like one of the attendant people, like in a town where they still do that, he turned it on the side and it worked fine, because I was like, oh man, this guy's gonna have a mission trying to fill my car up. But he just turned it, filled it up like this, rather than having it straight up and down, and it worked. So I've done that ever since. On the roof, like you'll see in our last couple of videos, we have a Rhino rack now, and we've got a shovel, and we use that. We've used it a fair few times just for people's swags and gazebos and stuff that is too long or doesn't fit in that canopy. Snorkel, haven't had it anywhere near any water yet, but it's something that we will, it's great for airflow and just something that is good to have. So glad we did that. One thing that we could probably do with is some side steps. We haven't, purely because of budget, we didn't put them on, but it's probably something that we should add. I think it's one of those things where it's a nice to have, but when people try and get in and out your car, they're a bit shorter, they do bring it up. So those are the main things. I don't think there is anything else that I dislike about this car. To drive, it's fantastic. It hasn't given us any issues. Maybe the mirrors are a bit small with our canopy, just because it sticks out a lot and you are quite limited. So that is why we have the rear camera. But I'm trying to think, like, oh, we've put stickers in here, like these little sticky things, because people's nails and keys and stuff, it's purely just a little bit of paint protection. The other thing I did was I ordered some of these stickers on eBay just to again protect this bit of the paint, because there's nothing there. If you took that off, it's just paint, and that's where someone is pretty much always going to put their foot. So I ordered them for all 4 doors, and it's just something that I'm glad I did, because it's just that little bit of protection. Because in our old car, that's actually started to rust on the driver's side, I think, just where it's like people gone in and out, paint's worn away, prone to water, things like that. So that's a little must. And I think we bought the model that's not as high. So these little things you have to add yourself, because they're not included. So yeah, we've done quite a bit of driving, done quite a bit of off-roading, had canopy on, we've had nothing on the back, it's comfortable. We've driven at night and it's been fine, except for the high beam problem I said. The lane assist is really good, and radar cruise control is something that is really handy on like the freeway and long highways. No major complaints. So yeah, that's my quick review on this car after 12 months. Still super happy with it. Need to give it a wash. She's looking dirty. So thanks so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. We really, really appreciate it, and check us out on all other social media. Bye.